Hi, welcome back to Game Room Crafts. My name is Kelly. This is my game room. Let's play. Today is day 7 of the 13 days of Halloween, and I have something fun. I have a new mold. New to me. It's not new to everybody. It is from Let's Resin, and I've already opened it, but I keep it in the box because I don't want it to get smushed. This is a cauldron. Obviously very Halloweeny. We have a few pentacles here and some skulls on either side. I assume those are the handles. So we're going to be painting those with mica powder. And then we have the cover of the cauldron. The top of the cauldron, it's bubbles. All that bubbly, wonderfully potiony stuff, and also the stick that they use to mix with. So we're going to be painting that also. Well, just the stick. Actually, no, I'm not painting the stick. I'm pouring resin in that stick. So anyway, it says, according to the pot, that it takes 9 fluid ounces. I mixed up 10 because I wanted to, split some out and do a little this and that. And just in case their measurement was slightly off, I figured I'd do it this way. So this is Reservoir's mica powder in brown. I'm just gonna take my spoon, my little itty bitty spoon. And it's not very much. It's like, let's see, what did I pour off? Maybe 10 milliliters, maybe. So I'm just going to put a little scoop, close that up before I knock it over, because I will knock it over, because that is how clumsy I is. Yup. What shall I stir with? Very indecisive today. Very, very indecisive today. Okay. Mix with this. Now, the problem with this brown is that, to me, it has a reddish tinge to it, but my understanding is most browns do. So, whatever. I could have done alcohol ink, but I really want that stick, the stirring stick, to be fully colored. So, okay. So that's mixed. I'm going to leave that aside there. Then I'm going to let this sit and let it kind of degas on its own. I may end up sticking that in the bubble machine. I'm not sure. This is the first time pouring this mold. Honestly, I just got it today. It was like literally delivered and I was like, yay! Okay, so we're using antique gold for the pentacles, because the kids said if you're doing a cauldron and you're going to do gold, it should be antique gold, not golden gold. So I'm like, okay. Whatever you say, because when it comes to this kind of stuff, she's the boss. There is a hair. Yes, there is. So I want to try and do this clean as possible, but obviously I'm going to have some big cleanup to do, and this is going to take a while. So kid, cue the music. Okay, I decided that I'm going to pour that stick now so it has some time to start to thicken up. Oh, I did not mean to do that. I meant to get it all down in here. Bubble out, color in. Then I'm going to get this out because I don't want that. No, I do not. I do not want that. So I'll just wipe it out now. So the thought process here is that this will have time to thicken up while I'm fiddling around with the other things. That's the stick. See how it comes all the way up here, but I don't want it going in the other things. So what do? I think I shall lean it against the box like that and just let it kind of do its thing. Hopefully it stays. And now back to the mess that I made here. There was a better way to do this, I am sure. Yeah, frustration has kicked in. Yes, it has. Yes, it has. I'll clean that off and start over. Now, I have heard that what I can do, because I don't like the whole flying mica thing, is to turn this into paint. And so that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to take a little cup. I do have a little cup. Where'd it go? There it is. Put some alcohol in there and drop some mica in it. Because I have 2 pentacles, I made quite a bit. Now remember, this is alcohol, so it's going to dry fast. So I am not very good at this. Oh, I'm not. Maybe I need a smaller brush. Do I have a smaller brush? That's better. Yep, that's better. Okay, then we do some cleanup. Now, I did say this is the first time I've ever done this pot. It's not going to be perfect. And in fact, I don't think it should be perfect because this is a Halloween pot. It shouldn't be pristine. There should be a little bit of, I don't know, creakiness to it. If I could put some cracks in here, I would. I don't think I'll get the crackle effect on here considering how I want to get this done. Okay. So that was the gold. I am done with it. I am closing it up. Now I'm going to do a little bit of silver in here because that is what I want to do the skulls in. That should be plenty. Oh, the skulls are not very big. I'm just going to paint it in with my alcohol silver paint. You saw how easy that was, right? Squirt of alcohol, which color you want, whether it's silver, gold, whatever. You put in a squirt of alcohol and mix it together. It's kind of like how I do my shimmers. Of course, with my shimmer inks, I leave them wet. I bottle it in an airtight bottle and I keep it for when I add my shimmer in. So there's one skull. Oh, I think I missed a spot. I sure did. I popped him out. I could see it. Okay, then flip it. Now I made a mistake in mixing up my resin so early because it's sitting there and I know that it's getting warm. I'm gonna have to get a move on here. Okay, so silver is done. Gold is done. Move these out of the way. I will clean those up later. Keep whacking the camera with my glasses. Okay, so I had my paddle draining in that cup there. That is my glitter cup. So I will be mixing my black glitter, which is going to be the base color for the cauldron, into that glitter cup. But I need to pull out what I'm going to use for my cover before I do that. And I don't think it's going to be very much, to be honest with you. Well, that was dumb. I just wiped off the paint on one of my tentacles. I guess that one's going to be gold and silver then, because I'm not going to take the time to mix up more gold. So this is my, test piece, my experiment piece, because I've never done this one before. Since I made the boo-boo, I'm just going to go with it. I'm just going to go with it. Sometimes you just have to let go, and it's okay. It may not be exactly what I envisioned in the first place, but I'm good with that. I'm okay. Here it goes. Move these out of the way because they are definitely in the way. Okay, so I'll flip this back inside out. Right side in. You know what I mean. That is the one thing about doing this technique is that you don't have to worry about powder puffing when you flip it back in because it's the same as if you use paint. It's on there. It's not gonna poof. Now you can definitely see where I made a mess. And I'm kind of at the point right now where I don't care because my resin is heating up and I don't want it to go yucky. So that's done out of the way. We don't need this anymore. Poured a little too much just to be brown. Okay, so I'm going to come up. I think that should be enough for the cover. I really do. I'm going to do that first And then I will worry about doing my black glitter, because once I do the black glitter, there's no coming back from that. So this was the glow in the dark powder in lime from Cecil, and stir it in. Kind of, I'm smushing it against the sides and the bottom of the cup. Any big chunks that don't get mixed in well, they're just going to give us a big glow. And I don't think that's a bad thing, especially in this particular case, because that's a bubbling cauldron. It surely is. Okay, and the kid wanted a little bit of fluorescent green. So this is the Sigwang epoxy colorant in fluorescent green. So I'm just going to do 3 drops. I don't want it to completely take over. Oh yeah, that's a nice mix of colors. Okay. And here we go. Okay. Do you see the bubbles coming up? Remember, I just mixed that into a bunch of cavities. So you're going to get bubbles from that. Wet my stick real quick. And now for my black extra fine glitter. And today I'm using the Recollections black extra fine glitter. Why? Because I said so. Actually, because I have more of this than I do the other one. Okay. In the cup. Thank you. Okay, that resin is really hot. It's been sitting here for a while, plus it's pretty deep. So I'll get that poured. Stop there for a second. I sure hope I have enough. It said 9 ounces for the whole thing. I made up 10. I was squeezing the bottom so that I don't get any bubbles, which would be at the top of the cauldron. Because remember, you're working upside down. Huh. Yeah, that's not enough. Wow. So what am I going to do? Am I going to make up more? Yeah, I think so. Quite a bit more, actually. Because the pot's a little more than halfway full. Maybe. It needs quite a bit more. So I'm going to mix up more resin off camera, and I will bring you back when we are ready to demold. See you in a bit. Hey, we're back, and these are cured. Okay, so we had extras. If you remember correctly, I was short on my cauldron. I mixed up 10 ounces of resin total for they say it takes 9 ounces. It takes more than 9 ounces because I mixed up 10 ounces and the only thing held back was definitely less than a half ounce from the brown and definitely less than an ounce on the green. So it's more than 9 ounces. I would mix 10, maybe 11. Now, if you're not going to do what I did, where I split them and I mixed them, and so I had leftovers in one color, then yeah, maybe 10. 10 might get you done. Okay, so I had extras. So this is what was left of my extras because I had to mix up extra to go in here. So this was my leftovers. This is a homemade mold. And he's out. And he's my little elephant. And he is the only thing in here is black glitter. And you can see he's opaque. There is no translucence to him whatsoever. And it's a shiny mold. So yeah, I did quite a lot of glitter. So elephant, he needs to be trimmed on the bottom because it is a handmade mold. So which means I cut it. And I'm not really good at cutting the bottom. Didn't trim it out good. So yeah, there's some overage there I'll have to clean up. Now this is the other one. And I wasn't really thinking I would ever do this mold in black, but I had the leftovers and the mold was at hand. So I'll pops her head. She's still a little soft. She actually could stand with being in the mold longer, but she's my angel. I made her for Christmas. It's coming faster than you think. So anyway, normally I cast this in clear. When the one time I cast it since I made the mold, I cast it in clear, maybe a little bit of crushed crystal, and then I put it on a light base. But since I had all the black left over, and she's going to sit and harden up so her wings get firm. Okay, cover first. So I'm going to, did you see that? I pulled it apart. Well, that would be why. This is the 9 fluid ounces. This right here, it says 1.6 fluid ounces. So that would be why I was short. I did not see that the cover had its own recommended resin amount. Are you going to come out for me? I don't know. Still a little soft. Let's see if I can get him out without tearing him off. Put a little bit of alcohol down in there. Considering how soft it is, I'm afraid to take pot out at this stage. So that's our cover. And you see the boiling potion. And there's our mixing stick. Okay, I'm going to leave it because it's still soft. So I think I'm going to leave our pot until tomorrow. Or, you know, maybe come back in a couple hours. I don't know. The good thing is I'm looking at the bottom and I don't see any. Maybe there's a micro bubble. No, that's resin. I don't see any obvious bubbles. I do see where, you know, I messed up with the gold and the silver, but I think I kind of like it. Just from what I'm seeing here. We will see when we demold it. Okay, so I will come back tomorrow and take our pot out and then we will see what we have. All right, see you in a bit. And we are back and it is the next day. This is our top. You can see all of that bubbling potion and our stick. And I guess that didn't sit long enough for it to completely solidify because you can see some of the green went into the brown and it pushed the brown up. But that's okay. I'm not angry about it. It still looks good. I like it. Although next time I think I might do it in gold. That is supposed to glow. But does it? Let's find out. Yes, it does. It does glow, actually. Yes, I'm happy with that. Okay. So now back to the main event. You can't have potion without the cauldron. So lots of trimming. And we're going to roll this down. Come on, you can do it. We're just going to roll it up. Squeeze it. Twist it. And pull it out. Now that needs some cleanup, obviously. Some paint was left behind, and I say paint because we did, if you recall, turn that powder into paint. I'm going to give it a quick clean up because my mold is inside out, so it makes it easier. Dun, 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 dun. So remember, folks, if you get this mold, you have 2 measurements. 9 fluid ounces for the cauldron itself and another 1.6 fluid ounces for the cover. And here is our completed pot. And remember, I told you it was going to be a mess, and I kind of wanted it to be that way. And there it is. I did get the gold and silver throughout the pot that I wanted. And it's even inside the pot. I don't know if you can see that. There. Can you see that? It's even inside the pot. You can see the glitter inside. And remember, this is only black glitter. I did not put any other colorant besides the paint and the black glitter. But that's how much black glitter I used in it. So I would call that, for a first-time experiment, a success. Let's see if our cover fits. And it does. Lovely. Lovely, lovely. Take you down so you can see it as it was intended. Yeah, I don't have my Lazy Susan here, so I can't be fancy. But anyway, yeah. So that was our make for day 7 of the 13 days of Halloween. I'm happy with how this turned out, even though this was an experiment. This was our very first time casting this. And I did run low. And oh, yes, you can see. You turn it sideways. There's a dip here and there's a dip here. Number 1, it had just come out of the mail. So it was squished in transit. The mold was actually stuck to itself. And I think that's because of the heat here. And number 2, if you remember correctly, I poured about this far up And then I had to make up some more resin. So what happened was the resin that was here started to cure up and thicken up. And so when I poured my second pour, it just, yeah, didn't give us the full circle. It looks better now, but I still would. I don't know. I'm thinking about maybe putting water in it and freezing it and letting it kind of, hopefully that will fix the shape. Unfortunately, when you get things in the mail or you get things delivered, you take that risk. I've had worse. Trust me, I have had worse. All right. So, day 7 in the can. Thank you for joining us here in the game room. I had fun and I learned something new. I hope you did too. See us tomorrow here for day 8 of the 13 days of Halloween. Please don't forget to check out the playlist below. There are tons of artists doing tons of spooky season things. And we will see you back here tomorrow for day 8. I'm not sure what I'm doing. I have a box full of spooky season molds or projects. I just have to pick one. In the meantime, don't forget to play. See you tomorrow. Bye.